Hello and welcome to another Amazon Flex video from Leftover Venison. That's me. Today we're going to be talking about petrol prices and diesel prices, and with them skyrocketing at the moment, how is that impacting on pay from Amazon Flex? Thanks for joining us today for this video. If you're a subscriber, then thanks very much for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, maybe consider subscribing to the channel if you're interested in Amazon Flex content. It's been a little while since I've done Amazon Flex. I've actually been ill for the last 3 weeks. I've had a terrible chest infection, sinus infection, and then an ear infection. The ear infection is still going on. It's irrelevant to this video, but I thought I would let you know. If I sound a bit dodgy, it's because I've been pretty ill. Thankfully, the antibiotics I was given are finally starting to kick in now, and I was looking to get back to doing some work. So I've been looking for the last couple of days to pick up some Amazon Flex work, like I do. For those that don't know, Amazon Flex is something I do on the side. I also work in my own business, and stuff like that. I do the odd Amazon Flex shift, and I usually have a regular program that I put on every Tuesday called Amazon Flex Tuesdays. But it's been a while since I've done that because Amazon Flex work has been a bit inconsistent. But anyway, today we're talking about petrol and diesel prices, which, I mean, I'm sure you're aware have gone up through the roof, not just in the UK, but kind of worldwide. Partially because of the conflict in Ukraine and, other global factors that have come into this. Excuse me. Other global factors that have come into this. So petrol prices are going up and up and up. But Amazon Flex haven't increased their rates as far as I'm aware. It's very difficult. I don't know if it's just here, but it's very difficult for me to find any rates that aren't the basic rate. And for me, going to work for £13 an hour, it's not happening, because that £13 an hour is not £13 an hour at all, especially at the moment, the way the petrol prices are and the diesel prices are. Like, personally, I use diesel. So if I'm saying petrol prices, I mean petrol and diesel, basically, the fuel prices. But yeah, so I've been looking for the last couple of days to pick up a higher paying block, by checking nearer the time. I've got videos on that, so I'll link that up here, maybe somewhere, if I remember, some hints and tips on picking up better paying blocks. But this is becoming harder and harder at the moment. I don't know if it's because there's more people doing flex, if people up here are maybe just dense and just picking up the standard rate option blocks. I mean, I don't understand why you would do that. But anyway, I've been checking nearer the time. It's kind of 20 past 11 here, and usually you can pick up better paying blocks coming up for 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock starts. But there's just nothing on there. The only thing, in fact, that was on there is a basic rate offer. 2.5 hours, £32.50, which is £13 an hour, which is a disgrace in the current climate. I can't even believe people are going out to work for that. The only reason I can see why you would go and work for this is if you are absolutely desperate for the money. And if that's the case, then I suppose you've got to do what you've got to do. If that's not the case, then why on earth are you picking these blocks up? I don't get it. I don't know if this is what it's like all over the UK, or maybe it's even in the US. I don't know if people from the US even watch this, but I'm based in northeast England, and up here, blocks seem to go really quickly. People pick them up at the basic rate, and I don't get it. It never used to happen like that, but at the moment, that's how it is. So anyway, let's have a little look here. I've dug up some information and I've put it on the computer, and I'll link this on the screen. So this is yesterday's, because it's always the previous day's average prices are up on the screen here. So we've got the highest 187.9 for petrol. That's not right, because I seen that at 190 for petrol yesterday on the motorway. Maybe this doesn't include motorway services, but I definitely seen it 190.9. Lowest 143. I've not seen anything like that anywhere up here. But the average price 159 for petrol is probably about right. That's £1.59. So the diesel average prices, it's saying 167.8. Again, that's probably about right. But let's look at the highest and lowest. 193.9. I've seen that at £2 per litre, same as the petrol. 199.9, and lowest 147.9. It's been a long time since I've seen diesel that cheap. So I drove around all over the place yesterday looking for diesel, because I had a few car journeys to make and I was running low. So I checked on the net to see what the prices were. Prices were through the roof, basically. The nearest to me, I live in a small town in County Durham. The nearest petrol station to me was charging £1.75.9 for diesel. That's a lot. That's coming up for £2, and that's where I normally go for me fuel, but obviously I didn't because that's crazy. So I ended up driving about 10 miles. It was near a place where I had to pick my wife up from anyway, so it wasn't exactly out my way, but I ended up getting diesel for 160.9, which I thought was okay, and it was definitely the lowest I found in the area. If you're from the northeast and you know a cheaper garage, maybe just drop it in the comments for people to know. But up here, petrol prices and diesel prices are mental. County Durham generally is quite expensive anyway, so often I will drive over to Gateshead. I do things through Gateshead anyway, where diesel prices and petrol prices are a little cheaper. But yeah, so this is like, so we're working on these average prices here, 167.8 and 159. Like 159 that's bollocks. I don't think that's the average price. I think that's wrong. But anyway, so we've got the average prices. It's important to note that 4.54 litres of fuel is a gallon in the UK. These are all UK prices, and the prices I was talking about before were per litre, not per gallon. So per gallon, we're talking £7.26 for petrol, and we're talking £7.62 per gallon of diesel. That's if we're using the average prices quoted previously. So let's take this logistics block that was on offer before. £32.50. My car does approximately 50 miles per gallon, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, depending on where we're going. But let's work on 50 miles. Let's say we cover 50 miles in that 2.5 hour blocks. It's well, I mean that certainly wouldn't be out of the question. In fact, I would be surprised if it wasn't more than that, to be honest. By the time I've driven to the collection station, that's already 8 or 9 miles. By the time I've then picked up the gear, scanned it in, like we do. I mean, I've got videos detailing how to do all this stuff, but that's irrelevant for this video. I just mentioned it. But so anyway, so we've driven there, we've loaded the car up. We then have to drive out to wherever it is they decide to send us, which could be anywhere in northeast England. And I'm presuming the other kind of depots cover the same kind of size range. So here, for example, I could be picking up in Hebburn, South Tyneside, or Jarrow. Jarrow, it's between the two. It'd mean nothing to you if you're not from here. But anyway, from there they can send you as far away as like Morpeth, Hexham. You could be doing farm deliveries out in the wilds of Northumberland, delivering around Hexham, and that's going to be a hell of a lot of mileage on your car for this 2.5 hour block. So even if you're working on just 1 gallon though, just work on 1 gallon of fuel used, 50 miles, give or take. It'll be more than that, I'm sure of it. But let's work on 50. So that's £32.50 they're paying you. It's going to cost me £7.62 in diesel alone. That takes the payday down to £24.88 or £9.95 per hour. Add on to that the wear and tear on your vehicle, the time it takes to drive to the delivery station, which you're not paid for, of course, which, I mean, is arguable whether you should be since you're self-employed. But anyway, you're not paid for that. You're not paid for the drive back from wherever you've been. So say I pick that up and I get sent to Morpeth, which is, I don't even know, 30 mile away, 25, 30 mile away. So you could be driving 25 miles just to start doing your delivery. So you're driving the 25 miles, you're doing the deliveries, and then you've got to drive all the way back. It's craziness. And you're doing that for $9.95 an hour before taking into consideration the wear and tear on your vehicle. I just don't know why people are doing it. I don't know how people are doing it. I don't know what your opinion is on the matter, but it drives me nuts when I see blocks going for basic rate. I mean, why would you do this? Why would you do this for like less than 10 quid an hour? Ruining your car potentially, It's just, I don't get it. I know it's an easy job, but still, you've got to have some dignity about yourself, and for that kind of money, I'm just not willing to do it. Which is why I haven't been doing Amazon Flex, which is why I haven't been doing the regular updates, as well as I've been ill as well. I mean, but, it's just, to me, this is craziness. I think it's got to stop. Amazon have got to put their prices up for Amazon Flex drivers. Their pay. They should raise that. Instead of having 13 to 15 pounds, and usually it's just 13 quid, it should be like, 15 to 20 quid. Making it a bit more realistic in the current climate, especially when you look at how far sometimes you end up having to drive. I know occasionally you'll get a good run where you're not driving all over the place, but if you do get a long run, say you're doing farms out in the middle of nowhere, around Hexham and stuff, you are going to cover a hell of a lot of mileage. You're driving up little tracks, you're damaging your car, your wheels are getting worn. It's just to me, this is not worth it. Is it worth it to you? Put it in the comments, let me know, and I will catch you later and see you in the next one. Ta-ra.